Hey, welcome to Vocabulary Words, Unit 6, Week 3. I think we're on Week 3, Day 2. So I hope you're ready for these. I just thought we're out on the sand dunes. If you look back here, this is where Star Wars was filmed, and where the first one, and whenever they were in Tatooine, this is kind of the area that they filmed at. It's kind of cool though, with all these sand dunes. They're huge. Look down here. Look at this big. I had to climb all this up and all the way back. Look where the road is. See back there? All right. Whew. All right. Make sure you have your paper folded. Remember, you fold it into 4 boxes. Fold it 4 times so that it's got 4 boxes. Put your word, your definition, your example, and then your question. All right? When you got that, get your pencil ready. And remember, the reason why we're doing this is to make you better readers and better writers. Whew. Hold on. Remember, whenever you're hiking, water. Oh, that feels better. All right, here we go. The first word is frigid. Frigid. Say it and then write it. Okay, your example is: we drank a hot beverage to warm up after being outside on that frigid day. It's kind of interesting because we're out in the middle of the desert, but it gets super cold here at night. So it can get down to pretty cold temperatures, even though it's really hot during the day. Go ahead and pause it and write it. Now here's your question. Do you usually wear shorts in frigid weather? This is not a yes or no question. I want you to answer the question, and then I want you to tell me why. Yes or no, and then why. Restate the question and your answer. All right. Go ahead and pause it and write it. All right, here's our next word. Our next word is hibernate. Hibernate. Go ahead and pause it and write it. The definition of hibernate is: when animals hibernate, they spend the winter sleeping. I had imagined that they wouldn't hibernate here, but they would need to get out of the temperatures. And this is probably a good place, right in this bush. There's not a lot of plants around here, but there are a few. Go ahead and pause it and write your definition. The example I want you to write is: some animals, such as the dormouse, hibernate in some way during the winter. So there's a lot of animals that do hibernate. I hear bees. Interesting. Interesting. Bees in the middle of the desert. Pause it and write it. Okay, ask. Here's your question. Why do some animals hibernate in the winter? Why do they hibernate? That's a good question. You may have to ask somebody. You may have to look it up a little bit. Just figure out what you got to do, okay? Restate the question and the answer. Write it. All right. So our next word, look out, there's the mountains right there. All right. So our next word is insulates. Insulates. Say it and write it. The definition for insulates is: an animal's fur insulates or keeps an animal warm. I don't think they need a little insulation here. Maybe at night, but I don't see anything else. Why? Pause it and write it. The example I want you to write is: my coat insulates my body against the cold. You know, there's people that do use insulation against the heat to keep their body cooler. Huh, interesting. Go ahead and pause it, write it. And here's your question. What kind of coat insulates a cat? What kind of coat insulates a cat? Go ahead and write it. Pause it, restate your question. Okay. Hey. Okay, so our next word is adaption. Now this is crazy. This is the bottom. This is the pool that's the very bottom. It's like 282 feet below. And I'll show you the sign in just a second. All right, so write that word. All right, your example is, or your definition for adaption is: an adaption is a change in a plant or animal that helps it survive. And here in Death Valley, look, check this out. Look at this. All the way around. Oh my goodness. It's like barren. Isn't that crazy? So, all right. Write that definition and pause the video. All right, your example we're going to use is changing color is an adaptation some lizards have made to their environment. Cool, huh? I don't know if they do a lot of changing color here, though. But, all right, go ahead and write that and pause the video. Okay, so let me show you the sign over here. Check this out. See it? 282 feet below. Isn't that cool? All right, here's your question. Here's your question. How is fur an example of an adaptation? Okay, make sure you restate that question in your answer and pause it and write it. We are here in Death Valley, and look down all the way out here. See, we came all the way out there. There's nothing out here. All right, so that's the end of Unit 6, Week 3, Day 1. Okay, so we're up here on the sandy dunes. You can look out here. There's some people out. You can see there were some people out on the top out there. It's kind of, these are really high hills of sand. So they're really tough, but I don't think I'm going to go very much further. This is a little tough for me. So I hope you, but you know what? Maybe I'm going to go off a little bit farther. So, oh, watch this guy. Watch this guy. He's going to go down. There he goes. There he goes. There he goes. Oh, maybe he's not going to go. I don't know. He's waving to somebody. There he goes. All right. Okay. Look at me. All right. So I think we're going to go a little bit further down here and get your words done. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit more about Death Valley on the next one. All right. Okay.